And good morning, everybody. It is Wonderful Wednesday with our guest, Irene Brooks. Now, Irene, I've known you for a couple of years now because we're in the same Women in Networking group. And I absolutely love what you do because it's close to my heart as a Nightingale dementia consultant. I'm in the state of North Carolina, so I've got to say memory consultant. However, you like me, we have we want to do our best for other people, and this is such a wonderful area that you help all the family with. So please tell our audience what you do, what you bring to the table, Irene. Tell people what you do.
Great. Well, thank you for having me, Claudia. And I love what you do as well. You help so many people. So thank you for that. So I help families that are struggling with taking care of their aging loved ones. So whether that is not being able to juggle all the balls, keep the balls in the air. And so you're trying to take care of your family's needs, your work's needs, and then your aging loved one's needs. You can't do all things. You can't be all things to all people. And so inevitably, one of those balls falls. Sometimes all of the balls fall. And so I help people that are kind of struggling and in the midst of trying to figure that out. So whether it's sitting down and helping them just figure out what their family would like to see and kind of leading them in that direction, or providing in-home care or placement assistance.
Yeah. And you do such a great job with that. I know because I've recommended you to clients of mine, and because I don't do what you do. I'm more preventative and help people navigate communication skills and things like that with the whole family, and how can we prevent the dementia going down the levels of 4, 5, 6, 7. I can help them go down slower with what I do. Now, Irene, I remember you and I, well, you were doing a presentation in our group, and actually it was about how older people, in fact any age people, we can all get scammed.
Yes.
And I'm hoping you remember that, because you gave a great presentation on that. And there was a lot of input from our group. We're all going, I think Nicole said, oh yes, that happened to my mother. And then fortunately she couldn't find her card. She'd forgotten where she put it, so she couldn't give it to them. And it's tell us more about that. What's your experience on that, Irene?
A lot of times I get called in after a loved one has been scammed, and it really hurts my heart to see. However, when you have a loved one that is trying to be independent, they have to learn how to spot different things. And the scammers really play on the human emotion. They know what buttons to push. So whether it's a romance scam, nobody wants to be alone or lonely. So of course it's easy to fall for something like that. Whether it's the threat of turning off your lights, or the IRS coming to pick you up and arrest you. All of those things cause people to get nervous, to act fast, and the scammers know that. And what they'll do is they'll say, do it now, do it now. So you don't even have time to think about it, stop and think about it. And that's how they succeed. And I know we've thwarted actually a couple of situations where people have called our clients' homes while our aide was there. And the aide's like, wait a minute, this doesn't sound right. Give me the phone. And then they run for the hills. So, right. Yeah. But yeah. So it really is, they appeal on those emotions that a lot of our loved ones are grappling with. That generation is taught not to question authority. So if they call and say their Social Security or the IRS, well, then I got to do what they say.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so
Yeah,
yes,
it's the bank manager. It's this, we've heard this. So please get, you've got to do it now because somebody else will scam you. Oh, right.
right,
It's shocking what tactics they will
right,
use, and
yes.
it's very scary. I've known one lady back in England. She literally lost £250,000.
Oh
Yeah, they
my.
took the whole lot.
Oof.
Um, I know, and
Yeah.
she was literally left with nothing. That was
Right.
her retirement.
Oh,
Uh, it is shocking what these people will do. And so what something that I suggest, and you probably do this as well, Irene, or tell me, you may have another idea, is that if you have a loved one who does still want to be independent, the bank will give you some checkbooks that don't lead to a bank account, just so that they will think that they can still write checks. They will give you, so you can get some fake bank cards, so that your loved one, at a certain level, if they are on the dementia journey, they can still keep their personhood, their own identity, then they feel they have that, their own authority still, yet you as their caregiver, actually no damage can be done.
right.
Is that what you recommend, Irene?
So I do recommend, especially when they're adamant about being independent. I remember my dad always threatened to get in the car and drive back home to New York. And he would just, anytime he got upset, that's it. I'm getting in the car and I'm driving to New York. Now he was legally blind and had neuropathy on his feet, so he couldn't feel
Pedals.
the pedals anyway, and the fact that he had dementia. But we had the car keys, because when we hid the car keys, he got very aggravated. Um, so we gave him a set of car keys to a car that was no longer in place. So he had his keys up on the wall. He felt better. He never tried to get in the car or anything, but just having, his wallet, watch, and keys, it worked.
Well,
Yeah.
that's right. And when we think about it, actually, it does. It's that is what somebody has always had, their autonomy, keys, a wallet, and a watch, and
Yes.
it keeps them. And it is really important. All of that, and I love that. That's a good story. Thank you for sharing. So yeah, and you've got a whole team, Irene.
I do. I do. I'm so grateful that I'm surrounded by incredible caregivers and office staff. I have caregivers that are full time and they are experienced caregivers. A lot of them have special training and certifications in dementia care, because that takes a different skill set.
Mm.
And my office team is also incredible, and where some days are where her cats, and other days it's a normal.
Yeah. So we're breaking up a bit now. I don't know what's happening, but I think I've lost you, Irene. You must be out in the countryside somewhere. I'm gonna get Irene's details so that she can you can get in contact with her if you need to, because what Irene does is really a fabulous work. I trust her, and I've only ever had good feedback from my other clients that she's gone to help, and her whole team, very supportive, well trained, and I know that they, as I say, they do a really good job, and they really care. So everybody, it's goodbye from me. Have Claudia Rickard, and I know it's goodbye from Irene. We seem to have lost her. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Oh, you're back. You're back. There you go. I was just saying that I was just saying goodbye then, but you popped back. I was going to say I'm going to give put your how to get in contact with you, Irene, because what you do is fabulous work, and if anybody is in need, if they're navigating, oh my goodness, children, and then their parents are living with them. And, and that's the only sometimes the affordable way to do it, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
I think I'm hearing this a lot. Like, it's like the system seems to be broken somewhere.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I personally quit my job to take care of my parents. So many people have to make that decision. Then there's some that don't have a choice but to work, but they are doing the equivalent of three full-time jobs because they're working their full-time job, they're taking care of their parents full-time, and then they're doing their stuff at home. So it really takes a toll on that person, not only emotionally, physically, but financially. The financial strain is absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah, yeah. And it's hard, really hard. And so I mean, is it easier that if the parent is there and then you come in to relieve them, of certain hours and, nighttime things?
Yeah, it is helpful because then you know that you have somebody safe and being well taken care of versus wondering if they're alone while you're at work. Did they fall? Did they forget to eat? Did they drop their plate? All these things that can happen. You can be at work and be present at work. You can be with your parent and be present with your parent without trying to be in two places at once. And that's what I hear a lot.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So that's really helpful. So I hope this will get, as I say, we'll have your details, and hopefully people will get in touch with you. Although I know you're like really busy, but that's wonderful. So I know you're always taking on new members of staff. So that's great because you're growing. Just shows how much it's needed.
Hmm. Yes,
Really.
definitely,
So.
definitely.
Yeah. So take care, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful day. And it's goodbye from me again, Claudia Rickard. And
And
it's
it's
good.
goodbye from me, Irene Brooks.
That's wonderful. Take care, everybody.